Hey folks, Malforian here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Renown and a post I saw on the Crusader King subreddit, which I'll leave a link to in the description down below if you're on there, if you go take a look, upvote it, join in the discussion and all that good stuff. Basically, it was a discussion about how Renown is not boring, but you basically just accumulate Renown through, obviously your dynasty members having titles, different bonuses and things like that. You can get one-off events as well that give you some Renown. But the whole point of the post was about how wouldn't it be cool that when your character dies, a percentage of their prestige and piety actually transferred into Renown? Not obviously the whole amount. It would be pretty crazy if the full amount of prestige and piety did. But yeah, like a certain percentage of it, because it makes kind of sense. You know, if your character, when your character's alive, you obviously, the prestige and piety give you a lot of bonuses. They're really good to get the higher ranks for opinion modifiers and all that good stuff. But then obviously once your character dies, they basically just go into a black hole and everyone kind of forgets how good your character was. You do get that opinion modifier, opinion of predecessor for a little while, for your vassals and people in your court. But the wider world especially, once your character dies, they kind of forget about it. And I think this would actually fix that in quite a good way. You would have, you know, if you're a small realm, you could have maybe a super successful character. Maybe they go on Crusader or something, and they just have a really boon for your realm. They make some cool progress. They become a living legend. They become a paragon of virtue. And then obviously when they die, it isn't that everyone in the game kind of forgets who they were. It would convert into renown, and your dynasty would be more famous because of that character, which kind of like historically makes sense. Like you would have a king or a queen that would be universally known for some great feat of progress or something like that, and it would make other nations look upon your realm differently than it was before. You could have a small realm, maybe, I don't know, if we're looking at the map now, Croatia or something, and maybe they're doing okay, but then they have one ruler who goes crazy and takes over Bulgaria, takes over Hungary, really makes some progress, is a living legend, maybe goes on crusade, gets a bunch of piety, and then when he dies, that all gets converted to renown for his dynasty, and then everyone really on the map kind of acknowledges that, says, oh, that dynasty is, you know, more well known now because of what that guy did. You could easily not exploit it, but it could be kind of exploitable. You could just have lots of very good characters, which obviously is just playing the game properly. So one way you could balance this would be to have it kind of depreciate over time. So maybe you get like, maybe it converts into like 100 renown, but then it will go down by like 2 renown a year or something, unless your next character also maybe reaches the same level. So if you become a living legend, that gives you, say, 100 renown, and if your next character also becomes a living legend, the previous character's 100 renown would kind of stay active, and you'd be able to build up and up. Or maybe if you had like one character that did really well, and then your next like 2 or 3 characters didn't do anything, maybe your realm starts falling apart, and then in the annals of time, the renown bonus from that one good ruler would gradually kind of depreciate away to nothing, basically, and then say in 100 years, no one would remember the glory days of that one ruler that did well for you. I think that'd be a cool way of making the system a bit more interactive. You maybe think about renown a little bit more. At the moment, I just kind of gradually build it up, and at the moment on the screen, we are in our Rise of the Habsburgs campaign, which if you don't watch, we're building the Habsburgs in CK3, trying to build the lands that they ultimately owned in real life. And in this, obviously, we've got different Habsburgs on different thrones, so we are building renown from doing that. So we are kind of actively working to build renown. As you can see, we've got like the Queen of Jerusalem, got the King of Bohemia, and all these different people who have those titles. So they're building up renown. Apart from that, you generally just forget about renown, and then every so often you get the notification that you can buy a legacy, and then obviously you get the legacy bonus as well for your characters. So yeah, I just thought this be like a cool suggestion. I really liked it. Like I say, obviously go over to the Reddit and discuss it over there. It seemed to go down pretty well as well. Let me know what you think. Like, would you like this? It could obviously be quite gamified. They'd have to balance it in some way, like I say, maybe the depreciating value over time if you don't keep up that progress, or some other way to kind of balance how well it does. Because otherwise, like I say, you could just have 6 or 7 really good characters and your renown could go crazy and you'd be able to buy a lot of the legacies. If it wasn't tied to legacies, it wouldn't matter, I don't think, as much. But as it's tied to legacies, you could get crazy bonuses if you could just do it, kind of gamify it too much and get way too many of those bonuses. So I'm sure there's some way you guys could think of as well. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you like the system? Would you like to see it brought in? I wonder if someone could just mod it into the game, to be honest. It'd be interesting to see if that would be possible, so we could kind of see how it works. But yeah, I never thought about this before. And then as soon as I saw the post, I was just like, oh, this is genius. Like, it would really build that system between Renown and other areas of the game a bit more actively, that you'd actively think about it a little bit more. And then also it would be in kind of like an RPG kind of story roleplay way. It would also make sense, like I say, that different realms would remember a really good character towards your dynasty, rather than at the moment, once a character dies, they're basically forgotten about by the rest of the world, like how well they did exactly in their life. So I thought it was a cool system. Let me know what you think, like I say, in the comments. Vote the video if you've enjoyed it today. If you're new to the channel and this is your first video, I cover Crusader Kings and other grand strategy games, so subscribe to the channel if that sounds good. But we're going to leave it there for today, and I'll see you in the next one.